Hello my lovelies, Susie here from Susie Mac Creations, and I've come to you today to share a very pretty completed journal that I finished a few months ago. I've got quite a few journals that I'd been making over the past 6 months, and I think I need to share them because they're so pretty. They're sitting on a shelf. They're not going to see the light of day. I love making journals, but I don't use them. So I've made the decision that I have to sell them. They need to go to a home that's going to appreciate them and love them, because they're just too nice to sit around gathering dust. So this first journal I'm going to share with you is an Amity Bloom journal. I've used quite a few of her kits. I will list them in the description box below, but in case I miss one, I've used Sage Skies, Her Wings, French Cabinet Cards, Faded French Vintage Decorative Papers, and Blue French Documents and Receipts. I know I've used some of my own washi tape and some colour coordinating papers from my scrapbook collection, but let me get into showing you and describing this beautiful journal. It's an 8" by 4 3/4. It has a 3/4 inch spine, one signature which has been sewn in using the 3 pamphlet stitch. The closure is some vintage seam binding and some frayed pretty ribbon, and that's kept together using a vintage brad, and it's just tied in a bow. So shall we open her up and see what's inside? I won't speak throughout the whole video because it's going to be too long. So if I go through and show you it, and if I need to speak, I will do so. So if we open up, I will tell you that there are 48 pages in this front to back. Most have been decorated. As I said, there's one signature. So here we go. Here's the front page inside, and it's a 2-pocket page, and it holds beautiful vintage style photograph from the collection, one of the collections, and I backed that onto some card and just frayed the edges and added some book pages there. That slips in here, and the taller back page holds a document, a French document. This isn't from one of the collections. I bought this quite a while ago and found it in one of my files. But the colours match beautifully. So we'll pop that in there. And this is a very pretty little envelope that I made using some washi tape and a French sign. This is from one of the collections. Beautiful little girl with her butterfly wings, and a little booklet that I made just to jot things down on, and that slips into the envelope. Turn it over. Again, beautiful papers. I've stenciled on some of them. This is from the collection. It's an envelope with a letter, one of those old-fashioned envelopes, and it folds up like so, and you put a little flash card in there, and it goes back in the pocket. This is vintage piano paper that I've stenciled over, and I turned it into a pocket to hold, again, some of the ephemera. You can find me in the sky, some tags, a little journaling spot, a hidden paper clip that holds some ephemera. If we turn over again, this holds a little journaling spot there. Oops, if I take this off, this plain paper, just for journaling, and we'll put that back in there like so. But, hang on, we take this out, put that back in there. That holds these, and whoops, I'm in a tiz here, and that holds that. Another pocket from the collection, and this holds a tag, and this is some of the paper that I was talking about. This is from my scrapbooking days. Some lace, a little butterfly, and a couple of flashcards. And that pops back in like so. Turn this over, we have a pocket with very pretty flashcard, create memories. We have a beautiful ballerina, she found herself. Another document held with a vintage paperclip pocket. We have a cluster here that I made using various bits and bobs, some lace and other bits, and it holds in a very pretty postcard. Open this up, we have a side tuck with a flashcard. We have an open out page here that I've stenciled on with some Distress Oxide inks. Used my Roses my what do you call it? Oh, for goodness sake, Susie. My stencil, of course it was. This is a Tim Holtz stencil that holds that. Here we go, turn it over. Again, a very pretty image. That just slips in the pocket. More stenciling. Another pocket. And this is the paper, and I've just turned it up and made a tuck spot, a tuck pocket there. Added some lace here, cut out her wings, pearl, stencil. She's growing her wings like a flower in bloom. Another pocket with some stenciling and another tag. 2 tags this time, and we open out and we have journaling spots. Papers are absolutely gorgeous, they really are, the beautiful colours. Here's the centre spread, and I love this page. I thought just a side tuck spot would be perfect to hold some ephemera. And I added 2 little discs to the bottom of the thread holding it all together. Some vintage lace, a couple of flashcards. And this opens out to give a beautiful scene, but you could write in here too. This one, she found her wings, so I put this little girl. Find your wings among the flowers, and she certainly did. And she slips in there beautifully. Turn it over, just a side pocket with more stenciling. And again, this is cardstock, and it's from my scrapbooking days. Here's a pretty pocket with a tag. Turn it over, and another little tuck spot with some stenciling, some lace. Holds these 2 cabinet cards together. Just tuck in here beautifully, and again more stenciling. Blossoms that carry hope, very pretty. A belly band for miniature invoice. Oops. And a tag that I've just decoupaged, not decoupaged, collaged, decoupaged, going back to my my earlier days. And just a piece of vintage ribbon at the top. Again, just a couple of little flashcards. The light of the sky comes from you. That's a nice saying. Turn it over. And we say, how I would love to have wings, blue ones, to open them and rise. Very pretty. She's perfect for that. Again, we have a little paper clip that holds in a postcard. Another hidden paper clip that holds some ephemera and flashcards. At the back there is like an advertising leaflet, photographs, des colonies, Boulevard Barbies, pretty paper, and again just a pocket to hold a tag. Writing spaces, vintage music sheet. Again, this is the back of the vintage music paper that holds an invoice. Turn it over. Have a side tuck that holds a very pretty postcard with a dove, beautiful rose in its beak, and a journaling spot there. Back page just as a side pocket that holds another invoice, a French invoice, and that pops in there. And that is the end of this very pretty journal. So if you're interested in purchasing this, just drop me a note, either email or leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. But thank you very much for coming to visit with me. I've thoroughly enjoyed showing this very pretty journal, and I'll be back again soon to show you some more. But in the meantime, bye bye for now.